Hello everyone, Douglas Waltz, Old Man Comic Book Reviews. Yes, we missed last week. Yes, I've got double issues. Yes, there's a lot of comic books. Let's dig right in, shall we? First up, we have issue 2 of the new Orcs with exclamation mark called The Gift. And I do believe it's all Christine Larson, written and illustrated by Christine Larson. So, yep, we're continuing our little storyline where we got the good guys and the bad guys. Come to find out that the one big orc used to have a thing with a dwarf, and they're going to have him fix a sword. It's a fun story. It's one of those, they have to save humans from giant talking wolves. Kind of, just picture Mononoke. Mononoke is where you want to go with the wolves. And so the dwarves have to have him get rid of. Now, see, I couldn't remember what they were called, so let me find the name of the monsters that they're in here. Gnomes. So they were told they had to get rid of the gnomes for the dwarves. Found out that the one guy now has a gift where he speaks every language. So they took out the gnome, well, they talked to the gnomes, and the gnomes said that their place is being attacked by a monster. Their monster literally was just like a weird-looking badger kind of thing. But then the badger said it left because it's home because of another monster, which actually was a quadruple-headed unicorn zombie. So, artwork's always is good. This is a really fun story. I like that they keep doing the orcs and orc arcs. And we'll wait for next issue of orcs. I usually get like 5. Alright. Speaking of almost over, number 11 of The Dead Lucky. This has been one of the odder comic books we have. Writer is Melissa Flores. Artist is French Carlo Magno. And when last we left our good little soldier, she got hurt in a big fight in San Francisco. And it's one of those intrigue, throw in some PTSD, find out the one guy's actually turned himself into a cybernetic monstrosity, and it's time to go finish the fight with the help of the Dead Lucky. They always have a recipe in the back. This one is for menudo soup with jasmine rice. It looked really good. I don't know where I would get tripe. So, good stuff. Speaking of odd, issue 10 of Dark Ride. This has still got the thickest cover in the business. Hear that? It's always been like that. Joshua Williamson is our creator-writer. Andre Bressman is our creator-artist. And we've only probably got like 2 more issues of this, I would say. We've got the brother and sister who are trying to blow the lid off the place. Sister is much better at it than her brother, of course, because her name is Halloween. I was sad to see one of the supporting characters get out. Bloody is bloody, and the brother still the son of the guy who invented Dark Ride has to get his daughter out. I do like there's for the next issue available, number 11. There is a cover. No, issue 11. Yeah, the next issue 11 is Dark Ride. It looks like a VHS tape for Aladdin. And any background noises you may hear is the grumpiest, oldest man in the house. His name is Manny. He only makes noise when the video camera is on. Otherwise, he is a lump who tries to stay in one place. Greg Pak for, Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, number 2. Greg Pak is our writer. Kaio Mayato maybe, is our artist for this. Place is still a war zone. Shang's got his girlfriend who's a lawyer. She has to pretend to break up with him and shoot him with a stun gun. That's again Manny, in case you were just tuning in. So Shang, Luke Cage, Spider-Man, all the bad guys are coming to attack Luke Cage. Negative Man and other people I don't know. It was like, but he's a hologram, and it's good to see Shang back. I miss the old days when he had long hair and used to fight with his father a lot. And before his father was the Mandarin, because you can't own Fu Manchu. He is public domain. All right, final issue of Avengers Incorporated. Oh, wait, is it final or next to final? Hold on. Let me take a quick peek. Yeah, this is the end. Apparently, Avengers Inc., the one that I really liked, Inc. standing for Incorporated, canceled. Writers Al Ewing, pencilers Leonard Kirk. Remember last issue when I said, oh, great, there's Hank Pym. So I knew that the rest of this was going to be a trash fire. I was completely and totally right. I read it. Yeah. This is Victor Shade is actually Ultron Mark 12. They give him a new body. They fight Ultron. The Vision shows up. You know, blah, blah, blah. I liked it when it was Victor Shade and Janet Van Dyne solving mysteries. I didn't want it to ever be this. And so, yep, that's it. 5 issues of wasted opportunity. The first 3 issues were good. Last 2 issues were garbage. Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, number 5, Fatal Exams is the subtitle. And let's see, written by Wes Clark Jr. and Stephen E. D'Souza, art by Adriano Silva. I really like, there's a dream sequence at the beginning with Sheena, and it's all like her movement thing, and I like the artwork, and it looks really cool, not just because she gets naked, settle down. And, so it's, yeah, the bad guys versus the good guys. Sheena's trying to save the jungle from the evil developers while pretending to be in a boarding school, finding out who is on her side and who isn't. That's always kind of interesting. And, yeah, there's something going on underneath the private school, which is odd because we just watched a movie, Slaughterhouse Rules, R-U-L-E-Z, with Simon Pegg, Michael Sheen, and Nick Frost, and it was a boarding school with a big tunnels with secrets under it. That was a 2018 movie. So, and this one says the end. So she gets all the bad guys. She lets her Panther tear one guy to ribbons. I mean, everything is gross. And it just says end. So that tells me that this has also been canceled. Not canceled, this is just the story arc. They'll give us another story arc with a different subtitle. Not like Avengers Inc. All right, Captain America, number 6. Oh, let's see the name of this one. Okay. Writer J. Michael Straczynski, penciler Lon Medina, inkers Lon Medina and Bellardino Bravo. It's at the end of the 2 storylines. In the past, Steve is helping the gangsters stop the Nazis from blowing up a bunch of people in the middle of New York. Meanwhile, in our time, Captain America finds out that he's an important thing in a time frame for this, where they've tried to kill him a couple times before. It was really cool when the bad guy got beat up by Captain America because Doctor Strange put the Eye of Agamotto in the middle of the shield. That was pretty cool. And it also sets us up for the Super Soldier Serum in the past, because young Steve Rogers does save the day. The truck blows up in the river. They explain to him that he is terminal and may have a few years left to live. And then the last thing, of course, is he meets Dr. Abraham Erskine. So, yep, Steve's going to run his apartment building in downtown New York. The one guy that helped him got chased out by people painting swastikas everywhere. And so, yep, Cap's still fighting Nazis. This is the first story arc. I don't remember what they promised us for the next one. Yeah, we'll just find out when it gets there. That's fine. We're going to do a twofer because one didn't come in, so we've ordered it online. One of my favorite books from Dark Horse is Count Crowley, Mediocre Midnight Monster Hunter. This is Don't Look in the Basement. This is number 1, right? 1 of 4. When last we left our girl, Jerry, who plays Count Crowley on a horror host show, her werewolf friend got murdered by another Count Crowley. Not old man Count Crowley, but middle Count Crowley is back. And the thing about killing the werewolf was kind of interesting. I'd never heard of that. Where was it? Let's see. Oh, I gotta wait for him to actually talk. They do a little background thing. Remove the tongue, bleed until death. I'd never heard remove the tongue, bleed until death. I've heard silver. I've heard being shot by a loved one. things like that. So now she has to go hunt down. Well, she ticked off vampires, so the vampires are coming for her. And she has no idea that this giant cabal of vampires in the big city are headed for her small town, ready to mess her up. And she's an alcoholic, so she slips in this. By slipping, I mean chugs a whole bottle of Brown Rocka. So, and there's a weird guy in a clown mask going around town and giving masks to children for free, but when they put them on, turns them into monsters. So it's kind of creepy. Second episode issue. Here we go. Number 2, Count Crowley. I don't think I gave away any of the people who do was. Story: David Dastmalchian. If you don't know who David Dastmalchian is, he was in the newest Suicide Squad movie. He was Polka Dot Man. He's also in the Ant-Man movie where he says things about the Baba Yaga. Art is Lucas Kettner. And we start right off with some guy paying extra money to sleep with I assume she's a zombie because she's cold. And I'm like, oh. So, and then we find Jerry passed out in nothing but her t-shirt and panties with an empty bottle of liquor. So, the mask guy shows up again, but the little girl is smarter than the creepy mask guy and gets away. And the middle Count Crowley is a jerk. We figured that out without a problem. The vampires are on their way to see Jerry. And it's... everyone's getting ready to convene on this small town in the middle of nowhere. And it's going to get messy before it gets better. So, 2 more issues of this 4-parter. All good. Another end of a story arc. Wowzers. Birds of Prey number 6. They went back to the better artwork. Written by Kelly Thompson, art by Leonardo Romero. The thing I didn't like is like, oh, here we go. Some of it takes place in the dark on Paradise Island. And there are pages of this, and it makes my eyes hurt. If you can't tell, he's using complementary colors to simulate night. So, I mean, I still love the artwork. It's still great. Sin gets a deal with the monster that's trying after her, Megara. And so Sin makes a deal. We found out that the reason Batgirl didn't get to go is they ran the numbers and it wouldn't have worked. People would have died. So somebody's after Barbara Gordon. So Black Canary's ready to put together a new team. As always, the artwork for this is awesome. Kelly Thompson does a great job with Birds of Prey. This is just the last of this story arc. And they do say, we're going to get a new team, new mission in issue 7, so I'm excited to see what we get. I told you there's a lot of these. And I got a special one I haven't even mentioned yet. Gang War, Daredevil number 3. This is the Elektra Daredevil, in case you're keeping track. Erica Schultz is the writer. Sergio Davila is our penciler. Oh, that means there's an inker. Hold on, kids. Sean Parsons. Thank you, Sean. So the Owl confronts Madame Mask because he's running both sides against one another. Madame Mask has Bellona, who is part of the Weapon X thing. She's a Wolverine clone and a monster. So fun stuff. Elektra's got to fight her. It is cute to see the gay couple being attacked by bad guys. It's the opposites attract. One is skinny, horseshoe hair, glasses. His husband is a giant, red-headed bear of a man, dresses like a truck driver, and they got 2 kids. Elektra even entertains the kids with her size for a minute. They think that's pretty cool. I thought that was nice to add that into there and make her more of a human being. And we're going to have one more issue of Daredevil Elektra, says to be concluded. So we'll see exactly what happens with Bellona and Elektra. You can't really kill Bellona. She's a freaking Weapon X. Doctor Strange, issue 12. That's right, we've been buying this for a year now. And where is my... Jed McKay is our writer. Our guest artist is Danilo S. Beyruth. Danilo does a good job. It's really cool. It reminds me a little bit of Ditko. A little bit. Steven's brother is a vampire and a ghost. I got a one-shot I reviewed a while back called Crypt of Shadows, where his brother gets loose, and his dog, Steven's dog, Bat, I do believe. Let me double check that. Let's take one more look back. Here we go. Bats. Bats is the dog. There are also a pair of snakes that lie so often that everything they say is a lie, even when they're telling the truth. So no one believes them. Anyway, so we got a vampire in the house, and he's trying to take over the Sanctum Sanctorum. The reason Steven can't detect him is because he hides in a mirror. So, this is almost another one of those one and dones. I mean, we gotta, obviously to be continued, we gotta save bats and the snakes. Well, at least bats. So, and next issue we're getting The Secret Defenders. It's an old book from back in the day with Stephen Strange. He would make a team of defenders. Apparently his team is Black Cat, Taskmaster, and Hunter's Moon. Oh, yeah, that's good. You know, whatever. Okay, let's continue, shall we? All right, Sensational She-Hulk number 5, because they started the word sensational. They had to redo the numbering because they're like that. Rainbow Owl is our writer. Ig Guara is our artist. When last we left the girls, Patsy, Jennifer, and Carol Danvers, Patsy Walker Hellcat, of course, they were at Patsy's favorite club, and then demons showed up. And so Jennifer hulks out so she can punch demons. Carol has to fight with no weapons blasts out of her hands because Patsy doesn't want them to ruin her favorite club. Damian Hellstrom shows up. He is the love of Patsy's life, of course, even when they're fighting. So he helps out with the demons. There's some really great artwork with our Iguara. And just a good book with the girls hanging out. Having a good time, and we find out that Carol's been bugging Jennifer because she wants her to be an Avenger, and then Jack goes, or she goes home to Jack of Hearts, and yep, she can touch him when he does things like he drained a nuclear warhead. He won't tell her which one. And next issue, She-Hulk in space. Ooh, I saved my favorite for last, a one-shot called the Godzilla Valentine's Day Special. And that is written by Zoe Tunnell, art by Sebastian Perez. And it's just about a girl who went to college and she was working 9 to 5 doing data entry on the west coast of the United States till Godzilla showed up and buried her under a bunch of wreckage. She didn't get hurt. I mean, you got a broken arm, whatever. And then she decided that she was going to use her computer skills to track kaiju. And then Miss Lieutenant Sauveterre of the Earth Defense Force spots her and says, you have to stop doing this. And she keeps giving them the slip. She gives them the slip when they go after Rodan, Godzilla. Ghidorah gets to show up for a minute. Ghidorah, she says no one hangs around when Ghidorah's there because he's crazy. She explains to them that they got to really stop the Mechagodzilla thing because all you're doing is agitating Godzilla. The young lady who's doing all the work, her name is Piper. So, in the end, the ladies end up falling in love and they get married and they turn a new team that's better than Earth Defense Force at the end. So, thanks to Godzilla, these young ladies fell in love and got married. So that was really, really nice. It was a wonderful Valentine's Day story. Now, this one I have not read, but I bought it. Well, I showed it to Martha, and she said, yes, we can get that. Back in the day, there used to be this fella, there's still a fella, Richard Adams, who wrote the book Watership Down. All of us freaking nerds love this book about rabbits. It's just about rabbits. About their adventures, their life, how mankind messes with the Warrens, how there are crazy rabbits that think they're in charge. And it humanizes rabbits so much. He also wrote Plague Dogs. Not as good a book. Nah, they turned it into an animated movie, and it's just the worst downer you've ever seen. But Watership Down has a nice ending. So originally it was written by Richard Adams. Now it's been adapted and illustrated by James Sturm and Joe Sutphin, and it's here. I'll just get a picture. It's just beautiful. I'm not gonna crack it. Beautiful watercolors and things like that. It's a pretty book. I mean, I'm gonna read it again, but you know, and plus my camera person has to like it, since one of the rabbits' names is Dandelion. So yes, this is I flipped through it and it was a very good adaptation, and they gave us a little glossary in the back about food or things that the rabbits say. There's one about when they panic at like unlimited danger, and I can't remember what it was called. You'll all tell me in the thing, I know. Let's see. Zorn. Well, it's in here somewhere. When I find it, I thought it was Florin or something like that. So, it's a great book because I like the original book anyways. It wasn't that bad. You're looking at $26.99. We of course got a discount because we're out the door. This is a 382-page graphic novel with lots of beautiful pictures. So if you've never read Watership Down, I recommend it. I'd probably recommend reading it before you read this. It's a great book. They went so far to be popular enough that back in the day, a lot of people were trying to get money from the Dungeons and Dragons. So they had all these different things, tunnels and trolls, things like that. There was a game, a role-playing game, called Bunnies and Burrows, where you were the rabbits. I bet that rule book's probably worth a fortune now. I never bought it. I just know of it. So there you go. All right. So Sophie, Fiona, we are going to have you over next week for sleepover. So that'll be fun. We're going to go have adventures, go to Kids Empire, wear you out so Sunday you just don't even want to move. We were thinking of getting you early enough on Saturday that we can go to Rensma's Bakery in Parchment. It's a little old school, 50s diner looking. All they do is bake stuff and have coffee. If they're busy, you can get the coffee yourself. So just the best time. So you hear about that next week. Here is the books, including the graphic novel. Quite a stack there. Yes, would you agree? I would agree with that. And as I always tell you, you don't have to buy comic books like I do. You can go to local comic book stores and go through their dollar bins. I always say find something you're interested in. If you don't like superheroes, there's a lot of comic books in that pile that you and I just went through that aren't superheroes. Godzilla's not a superhero. Movie horror hosts that fight monsters for real aren't superheroes. Dead Lucky's really not a superhero, even though they make it look like a superhero comic. So pick things that sound interesting to you. Haunt the quarter bins. Read them digitally. You can read them digitally for free. There's a thing for your local library called Hoopla that lets you download and read on their reader comic books, novels. You can watch movies. It doesn't cost anything. If you have a library card, excellent. That's the way to go. Fanfare is where we always get our comics. Fanfare, if you pay them $5 a year, so one $5 bill a year, gives you 20% off of all of your new books. They have to be new. And so this one I saved, just this pile alone, I saved more than $5. So you go out and find comic books that you want to read. I will. Okay, so the granddaughter's going to be here next week. So I don't know how many books there are. I'll try to read them when they're glued to the YouTubes, watching one of their favorite YouTubers. I'll try to read them so we can do the show on Sunday, so we don't have more of these double issue problems coming in, double episode. I like calling them double issues because it's comic books, so that makes the most sense. So remember to like and subscribe. Tell your friends if they're interested in comic books. I've had people say that they weren't sure about a comic book till they had me talk about it. Because you notice me, I'll either be grumpy about the comic book, super excited about the comic book, or at least informative about the comic book. You're going to get one of those three things from this old man when I talk about comic books. So until next week, go read a comic book. Okay, big oops. Sorry, everybody. I had so many comic books that I didn't know where they were. Let's do these three in this manga real quick. We've got another Dark Souls, The Willow King. This is creepy. Let's see. Written by George Mann, artwork by Mann House. That's weird. Because George Mann is M-A-N-N. Mann House is M-A-A-N. And then he's named after a house. So it's about the Willow King and the origins of this super evil king and all these weird people that are going to go, I assume they're going to hunt the Willow King. They showed this really cool panel that I'm going to show you because it's really cool. Mastroth Demon with the poisonous tongue. Not a single word. Terrifying. These are always good. I don't play the video game. I have no idea about the video game. So next up we got Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries #2. Yes, we're back for a third run of 12 issues at a price of only $2.99. We have it written by Jay Torres. I assume that's artist. Artist Scott Geralds. And it's The Secret of Slaughter Swamp, where Batman and Scooby-Doo and the gang team up to find out why Solomon Grundy is in this swamp. I figured it out before they got to the end. So, but it felt so much like a Scooby-Doo episode with Batman in it, and the art is classic Batman, which is always a good time. Get this one for your kids. Infrequently as Heck, that comes out #4 of Tom Holland's Fright Night. This is written by James Kohoric, and art is by my good buddy Neil Vokes that I've known for a very long time. And it's Fright Night. It's Fright Night, kids. Someone's trying to bring back Dandridge. And if he does, it's going to hit the fan. So, yep, just a lot of that. And also I found out that next week there will be a My Bloody Valentine comic book. I am more excited about this than the Silent Night, Deadly Night comic book. Final up, manga. I never read manga. Unless, of course, you make Kamen Rider Kuga manga. Kukamanga! So, let's see. Who is the culprits for this? Alright. Original story, Shotaro Ishinomori. Script, Toshiki Inoue. Art, Hitatsu Yoshishita. Translator for this is Jonathan Clements and Motono Tamamuro. Ladies and gentlemen, if I butchered your names, I apologize. I am a simple man who does not pronounce English very well. So this is, it's still the bad guys, the unidentified life forms, going on killing sprees. It was just like in the TV show Kuga. This is his green form. The green form is when the Detective Ichiro throws him his gun, and it turns into a big giant crossbow gun. And this, I built this one. The Kuga models are excellent models. I built the model for this. So this was a good time. All right. Thanks for listening. I'm not going to do the ba-da again because I'll just put a little bumper that says, oops, I forgot. And then we'll play this part. So until next week, go read a comic.